from somewhere else different. You don't get nothing like this nowhere. Everybody move like brothers, and everybody from different places. Milwaukee, St. Louis, Detroit, Texas, Atlanta, Cali, you know what I'm saying, Florida. Got people from everywhere, and everybody move as one. Everybody is prospering in some kind of way, in their own way. Every man plays his own role, and everything starts with the leader. I'm a good leader, so I got good people that follow. You know what I'm saying? It's simple. If you can only be like the nigga that's running your crew. If you got a robbing-ass boss, then you're going to be a robbing-ass crew. If you got a real boss who know how to sacrifice and take the bad along with the good and show his crew know how to be men, then this what you get. Everybody shining like new money. And ain't no other crew like this in the world, and never will be another. Now,
you can't get on me. I might jump on the stage with a stick on me. Every cornerback women got a pick on them. Every Glock in it big got a dick on it. How you watching my live won't click on it. I'm a butt on a rolling, no tick on it. They ain't tell you about real, got a kick on me. I just pray that my dog don't switch on me.
Reset TV, what's happening? It's Gravitating Away, and I hope today will be an informative video for you, and I hope you receive it well, man. I am your host, again, Gravitating Away, and we got to gravitate away from the bullshit, y'all. And this community definitely needs a reset. But I want to talk to y'all today about the upcoming Big Meech Welcome Back Legacy Concert. It's to premiere Thursday, February 13th of this year. You feel me? Has an all-star lineup. It's a lot of little nuances going on, like people wondering if Rick Ross is gonna show up. Ross said he's not. And then, you know, you got other people upset that Young Jeezy is not showing up. You know, all this other stuff. But here's my thing. It's a bigger, right, narrative that's happening right now. It's nothing new, but it's amplifying all of a sudden. And you got a lot of folks online, right, in Black Twitter, all throughout social media, that's expressing their disgust, one would say, about a figure like a Big Meech being popularized, but more importantly, being celebrated and honored. And I have, believe it or not, a different opinion, right? I have a different opinion about this, and I'll explain more. I hope you guys allow me to, and you got to feel where I'm coming from. But before we do that, I was watching the Beehive TV, and I want you to check out this guest right here, what he had to say about Big Meech being honored and celebrated, and the certain expectations in Black street culture about a Big Meech coming home. I mean, he's home, he's in a halfway house, if y'all don't know. And this gentleman spoke very eloquently. I thought he articulated his point very well, and I gotta salute, because I'm on the mindset of damn near the same thing. So let's check this out, and while you're waiting for it, do me a favor, you know, go ahead, do the right thing. No Spike Lee, just hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you can, I'm hoping if you're in the same umbrella as me that want to see your people do better, share this video, you feel me? I know this ain't the most sexiest platform. I don't got the most degenerate stuff for y'all to be entertained. I don't. I'm just here sharing a viewpoint and hoping I can have a few good men and women that can help build that and share that. So without further ado, let's check this guest on the Beehive TV with his point of view on Big Meech coming home and this concert that's at the forefront.
Reader. So I started, you know, glossing through the comments. I'm a guy that kind of sit on the sideline. I ain't never been the person that inserts myself in the mayhem, but I like to watch the mayhem, you know. And one thing that stuck out to me, you know, was a lot of people, a lot of the ex-strippers, everybody, you know, oh, money finna be raining again, you know. All the ex, you know, the lower end, you know, movers and the shakers that was up under him, down to the street level, to the soldiers. Oh, we finna pick right back up where we left off. Dope finna start flowing around. Money finna start flowing back around again. Nobody does it like Meech and this and that and blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And I looked at this and I said, you know, I gotta talk to my people. This is different than, this was bigger than Big Meech in this concert. I want to, temper expectations. I want to throw something on the mind of people. Every kingpin that I have ever, me personally, that I have known. Now I've never, Andre Willis, we had him here on the show.
Facts.
Big D Handspike, we had we had Keith Presley out of Chicago. One thing that I have found, I ain't talking about the Freeway Rick Ross, JoJo and Dave Peavy. You know what I'm saying, from back then. One thing that I have that's been a common theme with all of them is that how they went in, they don't come out the same way.
That's right.
That's one thing. A lot of my brothers and sisters are assuming that that this man who has just did 15 years. 15 years. Is going to come back out with the same thing that he went in. I want to put this on a lot of y'all minds out there. Beehive, will our people have the same energy if he comes out and once he sticks his head out, his message is we need to lead the youth now. He takes on a Farrakhan role. He takes on a Martin Luther King role. He's getting the little football teams and buying helmets and pads for the kids. You understand? If he's doing justice reform, are we gonna have the same energy then? Are we gonna look at him as if oh man, man, you ain't street no more. Oh man, you ain't this no more. The man's son has held him down.
That's right.
The entire time.
Thanks.
And I just kind of wanted to say to the people, I look at this, if I have done 15 years and I made I did this type of thing to my people, and this for all of them. This is me talking to all of them. What if I want to come out and I want to right that wrong?
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? We're talking about a man that's pushing 60 years old.
Thanks.
So if you think you're going to be up in Magic City every night throwing up $40,000 and $50,000 right there, let me tell you something. I got some property to sell you in Vermont. You understand what I'm saying? I wouldn't even wish on a street guy, a legend, a street legend like Meech to even come out with that same type of behavior. I'm looking to follow a guy that he has the whole culture. We can almost say, let me tell you something. When you're speaking of Big Meech right now, his name is ringing, and it's not in the way of these guys that I'm fixing to say. But you're talking about Tupac. You talking about Bob Marley. You talking about MLK. When you go in the street corner in America, you see those flags. The Honorable Minister Farrakhan. You understand what I'm saying? This is how a lot of the black street leaders are looking at Big Meech. You understand what I'm saying? I think that he's going to take that serious. I think that right now, that this man could come out right now and be in that genre of those next guys. And one, he'll have the credibility to be able to do it, Beehive, is because we know where he came from. We know what he did in the streets. He has the credibility to be able to do it. And I'm kind of hoping for that. You understand what I'm saying? But one thing that I do know about our people, anytime that it's something positive and there's a change, we fall off the bandwagon, dude. You ain't cool.
So shout out to Beehive TV, by the way. Y'all subscribe. He be having some phenomenal interviews. I really like that platform. Gotta support black media, you feel me? Especially when there's different point of views that are depicted for us to hear, right? So go ahead and do that. Tap in with Beehive TV. But back to what I was saying initially. You got a lot of folks outraged. They feel like, our best and brightest aren't celebrated or revered the way certain street figures are, right? Like your drug dealers, your murderers, your thugs, etc. No need to go too deep in it, because if you know, that stuff is not necessarily that what I think, right? And I'm sure a lot of folks feel is something we should celebrate. But I'm in the mindset of having a different opinion because this is how I see it. Making this video was a little different from me because I'm tired, right? Like, I'm really tired. I just came from work, and when I say work, I'm doing the work. Me and my team went to our local YMCA. We booked a meeting room, and we was discussing some new things to do with our different clubs that we have. One of them, most profoundly, is our Club Elevate program. And it's to, again, empower our youth. It's not that I forget about older folks. That's not my fight anymore. That's not my fight. I understand what it means when someone once told me you can't repair broken men, and you can't reach certain people who are set in their ways, right? A lot of the older folks in our community, and this is just me throwing a number out there, I'll say 30 and up, they're set in their ways. Good luck if you want to try, and make things right with them. Go ahead, do what y'all got to do. But for me personally, I'm gonna keep it blunt with y'all. You know, I'm about the youth, and I know y'all have heard people say this before, but going back to the Big Meech concert, it's gonna be right here in my neck of the woods, folks. I live in Broward County. This concert is going to be right here in Broward County. And when you think of South Florida, you're thinking about palm trees, South Beach. But like a lot of y'all neighborhoods and communities, people highlight the best parts, but they don't talk about the underlying issues that are going on with certain segments in certain communities, right? In these areas, such as the hood, right? Let's just keep it a buck, the hood. It's a lot going on, folks dying, etc., etc. So much degeneracy that is to the point, I don't want to just talk about the degeneracy and not talking about the solutions, but my point is this. A lot of people that are outraged, that are brightest or intellectual folks out there, folks that are graduating, people that are doing, you know, the actual work out here are not being highlighted, and people are upset about it. But as somebody that's on the ground, right, every day, the same people that are upset, I ask y'all this: where you at? Where you at? Y'all always ready with y'all Twitter fingers to be outraged about something, right? But when we need y'all help, y'all worried about speaking against the issues instead of doing something about it, giving a lending hand. For instance, a good friend of mine on YouTube, which kind of hit me on the whole Big Meech concert, because I'm not paying attention to that stuff. My platform, we talk about hip hop, but I like to highlight certain things about hip hop, right? But I'm not so knee deep in it where I know every little thing that's going on. Well, in this case, it's something that's magnified as something big, right? But my homeboy, hopefully he can view me as a brother. He's one of the first to give me love when I came out here on my other channel. And I saw that he put a post about Big Meech. And I'll put other people's posts that mirrored his post, because I don't want to put him out here. I got respect for him. But he put a post that said, this is what we're doing, right? In the black community, where basically, you know, just to paraphrase, we're celebrating somebody who, quote unquote, caused so much harm in the community, right? He put that post up, and of course, you know, you saw everybody coming in, chiming in with their opinions, liking it, etc. And I'm not gonna go against them speaking about how Big Meech shouldn't be glorified, etc. And it's not just about Big Meech, it's about the characteristics of a Big Meech, right? People that are symbolized like a Big Meech are drug dealers, etc. All the degeneracy that folks speak against, yet they love to be entertained by. That's a whole nother thing we'll touch upon. But for me, how I saw it was hypocrisy. They're not wrong to be outraged that we don't give light to the brightest in our community, the folks doing, you know, what they're supposed to do, doing things the right way, people graduating, people doing phenomenal things. We don't really praise that. But I disagree, because the question is, just like y'all giving time and energy to be outraged about Big Meech being celebrated, which he's not celebrating himself, it took people to do that, right? While you have an outlandish, you feel me, lineup, like you got so many big names and heavy hitters that's gonna perform for this Big Meech welcome back, you know, whatever you want to call it, concert, get together, party. While you have a great lineup, what about the folks behind the scenes that's putting this together? Or what about the executives in general behind hip hop, right? Because we love to talk about how black folks created hip hop. None of it matters when you can't tell me something substantial in the last 50 years that hip hop has done for the black community. Keep in mind, I talk about hip hop, I'm still centered around it because it's something I grew up with. And when I say that, people call me a hypocrite, because there's like, how could you talk about the negativities in hip hop but say you're a part of it? Because I think you forget the inception of hip hop, the origins. There are those of us that has never left that, right? Once we tapped into the consciousness of hip hop, the things that hip hop has provided a lot of us, right? Therapy, almost, like many of us never left. And I love hip hop for that. I'll never turn my back against hip hop, which is why I think when you speak against the ills that are seeping from hip hop, onto the community, destroying certain mindsets, destroying our youth, and the way that we've been projected, then hey, man, I think I'm doing it a good service, right? Because I want to clean it up. But I don't think that being outraged, right, about things that you don't like about hip hop, which, let's just get this out of the way, hip hop is entangled with Black culture. I know some folks get offended, but it's the truth. Hip hop is entangled with Black culture. To the very nitty gritty, it is entangled with it. But my thing is for the folks, once again, that are outraged. It be them people, right, that be so mad, but they never do nothing out here. For instance, the reason I didn't even know about the whole Big Meech concert is because when you're actually doing the work, right, you're really busy in that mud. And I can't say that enough. When you're actually busy, you focus on the possibilities more than the bullshit going on, right? The degeneracy that a lot of y'all like to point out. The hypocrisy that I see online, it's not just online. I know the internet be interneting, but a lot of it is the truth. We got hypocrisy with folks going online and hypocrisy out here in the streets. Because a lot of them are the ones that are silent, that don't do shit. And if I'm to be real with you, figures like a Big Meech, certain killers, and I'm not proudly saying this, but you know, certain guys I've been around, certain so-called killers, you feel me? Some of the lowest of the low-hanging fruits, as some of y'all will call them, those guys have been the ones when I really changed my life, when I really, you feel me, wanted to do more and not just be outraged. And I'm talking about in my early 20s, you feel me? These guys were the main ones backing me up when I was talking to a group of kids or whatever, you feel me? A group of seeds, young Black men and women. They were the ones backing me up, telling them children that, yo, this man right here ain't lying to y'all. And what you heard on that BITV interview with what the brother was saying, I'm hoping for the best while Big Meech is out because of the influence that he holds, right? I'm hoping he is one to say, nah, what I did wasn't cool. I don't care the good that came out of it. The bad was just so damn strong. We can't worry about whatever good came out of it, because some folks will have you, right, believe that F everything that came with it, right? People dying, communities being destroyed. Big Meech looked out for people. He was different. He was real. He fed so many families. He was a real boss. He was a real one, a legend and all that. I would hope Big Meech ignore all of that type talk and say straight up, man, was it worth me not seeing my family for damn near 20 years? Was it worth me being in a box like an animal? I'm sure anyone would admit all the money in the world, which it's projected that Big Meech had over $1 billion. I'm sure anybody in his position who once had that type of glory, right? And I'm calling it glory in terms of what the streets call this, right? This glory of being rich, of making all this money, but then you're stuck in a box, can't see your family. And despite how everybody else think, right? Because you get some naysayers saying he snitched or whatever to get out. But my point is, you got a lot of folks, more than the naysayers, are saying Big Meech held it down. He was a real one. But one thing I know about life, when everybody's gone, right? And you're alone, it's nothing like those thoughts, right? When you're by yourself, alone with thoughts you can't run from. Lord knows how that man really was feeling. I would hope he give us a window into his mind, the everyday struggle that he was battling, not physically, but mentally. What was going on? Being separated from your family, people being buried and you stuck behind them walls, you in the belly of the beast. That's the part that I'm hoping Big Meech would be glorified about, right? But unfortunately, you got a concert out here. I'm not gonna speak against it. Many people are, however, saying all this stuff, right? We shouldn't worry about a Big Meech, but then why are you outraged? Why are you getting out your feelings, but you don't have footprints in your own community? You don't go out there speaking to the youth. More than speaking, being a part of centralized programs that can make a difference, that can make a change. Because all of y'all be thinking you need money to do this stuff. I'm telling you, I am a walking testimony. You do not necessarily need the money to make the impact. The money is what happens in the long run, right? To keep the thing steam headed towards the right directions. But a start is a start. And a lot of y'all, I'm willing to bet, don't even have a start in terms of what you have done to help your community. People get mad about that when you say that. What have you done for your community? And they like, oh, y'all always talking about that. Well, it matters. It matters. That's the gist of a so-called community. Because if it's not a community, it's just wild, wild west. A bunch of animals running loose. That's how they view us. Those aren't my thoughts, but that's how folks view us out here. If it's a real community and you want to be dignified, a lot of y'all need to stop complaining and get your boots on the ground. But my point is, imagine being outraged about something, but you already claim, right? You claim to be doing right by your people. You claim to be doing all this activism and all this stuff, but you got time to worry about what's going on with Big Meech. Here's my thing. The people that are celebrating Big Meech, specifically this Welcome Back concert, those are people that was in his circles. In terms of, in our community, we have different segments. We're not a monolith. Unfortunately, the degeneracy is at an all-time high, and it's damn near suffocating anything else we got good going, right? But you're not gonna necessarily see people who are actually doing the work and are intelligent enough to understand, the glorification of drug dealers, murderers, and all that stuff. They know how that affects the youth. Those aren't the people praising and big upping Big Meech. So my thing to you is, when you're talking about being upset about a Big Meech concert, keep in mind it's within that circle. If you're not a part of that circle, you shouldn't be outraged. Because the people that I know and respect are not the ones ignoring our brightest out here. They praise them every day. And if you're doing that, Big Meech receiving a concert is not something you should be bent out of shape about. Because personally, this ain't new. Y'all been new. The black community in general as a whole damn near celebrates degeneracy. I say we change that narrative by keep doing what you gotta do out here. Don't put a magnifying scope on this, but yet you got nothing to show about what you're doing to combat all of this. In my opinion, in my humble opinion and respectfully, I feel like Big Meech did his time. Whatever else you think he should be punished for, I believe in a God. Maybe y'all don't, but I think that's between him and his maker. I feel like he suffered. That's what prison is, folks. It's not a playground. So if you think that was not enough in terms of this man doing his time, he will meet his maker and he will have to do and handle with that. But as far as on the grounds, y'all, I'm getting sick and tired of a lot of you YouTubians and just chit chatters, Twitter finger folks out there being outraged about everything. But every time I bring up this pivotal question, what are you doing? It's crickets. Everybody gets defensive. Nah, you ain't supposed to ask me all that. I'm supposed to co-sign you being angry. I can't do it, man. I can't do it because I see the vision. A lot of things can change if a lot of the folks that are upset stop being hypocrites. Because guess what? It was y'all that was trying to fit in. All the folks you see out here with degrees, some people in a lot of influential positions, right? The so-called intellect community. You think they ain't the ones jamming a lot of these songs in their rides? You don't think they're the same ones glorifying a certain segment in our community that should be despised? You don't think they're the main ones doing it? Because I'm telling you, the biggest pushbacks that I got trying to make a difference in my community was not the so-called drug dealers, the gangsters, the gangbangers, the murderers. It was average day folks and some in notable positions that wanted to fit in, that was calling me lame, right? You preach too much. You rap too much. But let it had been a drug dealer that came there trying to influence all that I was trying to build up, they'll co-sign that. So nah, man, in my experience, I'm just keeping it a buck, man. Some of y'all may not like it, but a lot of the drug dealers, the ones that had sense anyways and wisdom took over, were the ones helping me in my cause. But a lot of the folks that were outraged When it's time to get some help, they're nowhere to be found. But I guess y'all on the internet getting real comfortable worrying about a black man that did his time coming home and being revered and cheered on by his own circles, meaning folks that subscribe to that type of thing, right? The whole drug dealing culture, the whole getting money, flexing, the whole trap industry, hip hop in general. The folks cheerleading that are within those circles. Let them do their thing. But if you're worried about black folks graduating from college, doing great things out here and nobody giving them love, damn it, you give them the love. You go out there and praise them. See, what you do with your energy is always going to be important. If you could spend the same type of energy that you spend on being outraged about all the degeneracy that's going on in our community and using that to actually help fix, guess what? Every time you saw some bullshit out there about a former drug dealer, former gangster murderer getting praised, it wouldn't even matter or hit your radar because you're busy doing the work. Man, if y'all felt anything that I was saying, tap in with your man, yo. Just gravitating away. I hope I dropped something insightful for y'all to ponder on and not get lost on that internet BS, bro. Because again, man, I'm telling you, most folks that be angry about this stuff, they ain't really doing nothing out here. I promise y'all that. This was Reset TV and your host gravitating away, trying to drop some gems, man. Let me see y'all in that comment section. I don't got no questions specifically. I just want y'all thoughts about all of this. Anything that we touched on. Share your opinions, man. Share your opinions, man. It's time for a change. And this is the reset I'll give. It's not necessarily just to the gangsters and drug dealers and all that other stuff. I'm talking about you folks that say you don't partake in any of this stuff, right? Any of this degeneracy. You need to reset and stop being a hypocrite and come out here and do the damn work. I'm out.